Hey, Michelle with Treecat here. Hope you're doing well today. I wanted to just get on here really quick, even though I'm having a bad hair day, but hey, I'm a walking billboard and everybody loves a walking billboard, right? But I just wanted to get on here real quick and talk about a feature that not a lot of people might know about, and it's called the archive. So Treecat basically is going to save all of your sold listings in an area on Treecat called the archive. So if you go to your inventory, you click on, and let me make this bigger. So I don't know if you can see it here, but there's this little icon with a little funnel, and next to it, it says period. And if you click on that funnel icon, it's going to show you the label area. So when you are currently looking at your inventory or your sales, it's not the archived information. It's information that is unarchived. Once something sells on Treecat, it gets an archive label and goes into like a hidden area that you can't access unless you unclick it. So I'm going to unclick this archive area, right? And then I'm going to say apply filter. I'm going to click on the apply filter. And so that's basically showing you all your items, your current items, and your items that have sold at some point. And so if I then want to, because let's say, for example, the reason why I want to talk about this is because I did an inventory not too long ago, and I found some stuff that I had forgotten about. And I was like, I should be listing that stuff. But it's stuff that is from, a while ago, and I don't have the 90-day on eBay that will enable me to sell similar. It's past 90 days. But the good news is that Treecat saves it in archive. So I have a bunch of my shapewear in bigger sizes that I'm going to want to relist. And so I'm going to type in Spanx, and I'm going to type in higher because I know that the name of this is Spanx Higher Power. And then I make sure that I'm not in archived, and it will show me all of my items, the ones that are in green. So you can see the ones here that are, oops, wrong way, that are marked in green are the ones that I currently have listed and that are matched together. So I don't necessarily think that I'll find it there, but I know that I'll find it in one of these that is an archive. And I know it's an archive item because it's all outlined in yellow. So if you can see here, these are outlined in green, but these ones are outlined in yellow and or red. And you can make a copy. So earlier I made a copy of this because I wanted to relist it. If I make a copy of this, okay, I can go to main action. So I'm clicking on the listing and I'm going to main actions and I'm saying copy one item. All right. And then what I do to find it is I just type in copy Spanx Higher, and then it'll show me the ones that I just made copies of. So for example, let's see, this is the one that's size E. So if I click on this, I can see that all the information is still there and all of the photos are still there. So that's awesome. I think what I have to make sure that I do is unclick it on the label area on the left-hand side underneath all the photos. Underneath where it says delist, relist, run, last run, there's an area called labels above Treecat notes. And so I'm going to unclick archive and I'm going to save that change. Okay, so now it's no longer going to be in archive because I want to be able to see it once I list it. So here's all the information. Let's see if there's anything I want to change. I think that I'm going to take off copy because I don't want my buyers to see that it's a copy, right? But anyways, so I'm going to lower the price a little bit to $21.99 and make sure that I like all the information that's in here. And I do. Okay. And we're good with, we are good with all the policies and everything. You have to put a new SKU in. Okay. So I'm going to put in today's date and where it's located and other information. And so anyways, I've got all this information. And what I'm going to do is just, I'm going to re-autofill it to Mercari and Poshmark so that it can get all of the new information and pull it over to Mercari and Poshmark. Now, you don't have to do that. You can go in and manually make those changes, but I am going to utilize AI autofill because it just makes things easier for me. And then I go into that and make sure that I like all the information. I might change the price on my other platforms, and I might change the, if you know, other information, but pretty much other than that, I think we are happy with what we have here. So now what I can do is I can just simply list it again, relist it, actually change the quantity. So if it has a quantity of zero, it's not going to list. But if you change the quantity and save, and then it will actually list it for you. So it's listed it onto eBay. But anytime you want to see it, you just go and visit the product page. Like under all of the pictures, it'll give you information about the labels. But above that is an area where it says visit the product page, and that will take you directly to your platform. And let's see, I am actually, I'm going to make sure that it's listed. It only listed it onto eBay, so I'm going to make sure that it now lists it. Okay, so it wants the Mercari shipping information. So I failed to do that correctly. I didn't put the shipping in there. That's my bad. Okay, so anyways, it is going to now list it onto Mercari and Poshmark. And I saved myself a ton of time because I didn't have to recreate a listing that I no longer have pictures for. So I wanted to share that with you guys because I think it's really a useful tool. Now, not all of us have replenishables, but sometimes we do. Sometimes we get replenishables, and you know, it's rather exciting to be able to get a replenishable and be like, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and list this from an older listing. And you know, sometimes when it's less than 90 days old, it's easy just to sell similar on eBay. But sometimes you can't do that because it's been longer than 90 days. So I would encourage you to use this kind of secret hidden feature. But like I said, there's a few things to it that, you know, you have to realize that you have to change. So you have to make sure that you take it out of archive. You have to make sure that you save it, and anything that needs to be updated. Like I think since the time I listed this previously, it was first class. So I had to make sure that I changed it to, in Mercari, I had to change the shipping to ground advantage, right? So, you know, make sure that anything from a year or two ago is changed. So you just review it, and then you have the opportunity just to go ahead and list it. And that's really, really cool, really, really easy. Makes things super easy. And then if you ever have, you know, to make any changes to it, you can simply, you know, go in. And actually, one other thing just to take note of is it's not going to be right at the top of your, it acts a little, it's handled a little bit differently than a normal thing that you just list from scratch, right? So it will actually, you'll have to search for it. It will be there, but you have to just search for it, and you'll find it that way. It's because it's not, like I said, here it is right here. It's not going to be pulled to the top of the inventory area, but it is there. It is there. So that's pretty cool. And you know, a lot of you know, other marketplaces and a lot of other services, they don't offer this to you. And we offer this to our users completely free. So yes, are there some things, are there some little tricks to it that you have to remember? You make sure you take it out of, you make a copy of it, make sure you take it out of archive, make sure you update, you know, things that might have changed since the last time you listed it. And as soon as you change the quantity, it's going to list it right onto eBay, but then you list it onto the other platforms you want to list it to. And make sure you change the SKU, because the SKU will be blank. It's not going to retain the old SKU information, but that's okay because you're probably going to be storing it in a different area anyways, right? In a different box or a different place. So that's the cool archive feature that we are giving to Treecat users just as another value add. And I think it's important to, to talk about, because I completely forgot about it until I was cleaning out my inventory and realized that I had all these shapewares that like are just sitting there. Just, it's like money that I'm not, money being wasted, right? Because it's just sitting in my my storage. So that's the archive feature that allows you to take an item that you sold a long time ago. It's got all the photos, it's got all the information. You just go and make some tweaks. Then you can autofill it to your other marketplaces, take it out of archive, put a new SKU in it, put some new information, save that information. And then once you change the quantity, it'll automatically sync it to eBay as a new listing. And then you just list it onto your other marketplaces and you're good to go. It saved me a lot of time in the last week because I had all these shapewares and I was like, I need to get these things listed because I am just losing out on a lot of money. So that's the archive feature, guys. And I hope that you find it helpful, because I sure have in the last week. And that's basically what I wanted to talk about today. So guys, have a great weekend. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. And we'll see you next time on Treecat Chat. Mahalo. Bye.